Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Ezinne Williams. How are you all doing? Hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are fine. If you're new to this channel, kindly click on the subscription button. Click on the notification bell to let you know whenever I post any new video. Okay, guys, the first episode of the Real Housewives of Lagos reunion was aired today. Now, if you've not seen it, it's out on Showmax. Go see it because you're gonna enjoy it. This is what I call a reunion. Everything that happened in the show was picked one after the other, and they talked about it. Uti, well done. Uti is as messy as hell, and I love it. Okay, so the show started with Uti visiting the ladies. You could see when the ladies came in, they were doing their makeup. They all looked so good. And yes, Miriam was there. So Laura was the first person to walk in, then Ayaba, then Miriam. They were all looking so beautiful. Then Chioma, Toyin. Then for some reason, Carolynn was fashionably late. Then they all started with the show, talked about, Laura. How Laura, took offense, to the fact that Chioma did not acknowledge her as her friend. Chioma also talked about the fact that, yes, Laura is, comes to her place, to buy stuff and all that. But when she saw Laura, that was like the first time she's seeing Laura, and she did not expect to see Laura. Laura did not expect to see her and everything. She did not say it from a malicious point of view. For her, she's like, okay, she's like her customer and everything like that. And Laura also said, for her, because she's like a very, very jovial person, and to her, everybody is her friends, her followers on Instagram are her friends, everybody around her she calls friends. So that was why she thought, okay, that Chioma is her friend. But definitely she and Chioma are not like that close. So Chioma is not her friend. Though they showed us a clip of Laura being Laura, doing everything she was doing. And Uti was like, okay, what was that? It's almost as if we didn't know who the real Laura is. And she was like, Laura is the bubbly girl you also see on Instagram and social media, but she's also an emotional one. And Uti was like, I don't think you don't look like somebody that holds a grudge. And she was like, yeah, she holds a grudge. If you do something that hurts her, she can hold a grudge for a year or two. That she's like a combination of both. Toyin said, that Laura being the drama, if they deposit drama in the bank, would she get money from it? No, that she's just being that for the show, that's not the Laura she knows, that maybe Laura chooses the people she wants to be, cool with, or she wants to be playful with, but the Laura she saw on the show was not like the Laura she knew. Then they also talked about Chioma's lateness. In fact, Chioma was actually, her wish was granted, where she said in the show, that she takes the crown of being the latecomer, that they should give her a sash for it. And Uti literally got a sash for Chioma. Chioma. Uti, I told you, he is messy. And I don't think there's anybody that could have hosted the show better. Yes, guys. And Chioma said, that was how she's been, but she's working on it. That it wasn't like, okay, she was trying to be fashionably late or to create a grand entrance, because even if she doesn't come late, she still, has a grand entrance and all that. Yes, guys. Then, okay, before then, as they were talking, they were talking about, Miriam and the use of the word bitch. And Miriam was, talking about it, explaining that, that this is there's a way she will use the word and she's referring to the person as, her girl. And there's a way she will use it and it means she's really pissed at the person, and all that. So while Miriam was, explaining her using the B word, here comes, Carolynn, walking in majestically in all her glory, looking so beautiful. And Uti, she walks straight to Uti, hugs Uti, and when she sits down, Uti was like, ladies, give a warm welcome to Carolynn. The faces, the looks on their faces, from Iyabo to Toyin to Laura to Miriam to Chioma, if looks could kill. I love it. I live for the drama, but I'm not the drama though. Anyways, that was that. And then, they started talking about friendships. They talked about the whole Toyin and Laura friendship, and Toyin said, for her, she has always had Laura's back, but Laura always likes playing the victim and all that. And Laura, on her own end, was saying that to her, she felt like, she came out, and was watching the videos, and she saw how many times that, Toyin was saying some things, like saying that, that she was not there when Laura and, what's her name? When Laura and Carolyn were being pimped to the governor, that she did not follow them to the room, and she felt like that was, hurtful. And then Toyin was like, you say things about people too. Like, if she was her friend, Laura wouldn't have from the get-go, told or said that Toyin was telling her things about Caroline, that friends don't do that. You don't put your friend in that kind of a position. That Laura likes, playing the victim, really. And I kind of like do agree with her to an extent. And that was it, and that friendship between Laura and Toyin, gone. They're no longer like friends. They don't see each other. Toyin is done with the friendship. Laura is done with the friendship. Friendship in the mud. They also talked about, the famous Miriam's dinner that happened that caused a lot of, in fact, it was that dinner that changed the course of the whole show. Yes, guys. And, that was where they talked about the late coming of Chioma. And Miriam made mention that, to be sincere, Chioma, yes, did apologize to every one of them off camera, but her apology was not remorseful. The person that was actually remorseful was Caroline. And Toyin also made mention that all the ladies actually voiced out, because Uti was like, why is it that it was only Iyabo that, voiced her displeasure about, Caroline and Chioma coming late, and the other ladies were there and they did not address it there and then. And Toyin said everybody did. Miriam actually said that every of them addressed it except for Laura. And Uti went back to Laura and was like, okay, Laura, like, you didn't say anything, the way you were acting and everything. And Laura was like, that it was because of the mimosa. I think so, the champagne. And Iyabo was like, no, because the next day you put out that whole chat thing on the group that caused a lot of wahala. So yes, we don't buy that story that it was because of the mimosa or the champagne. That's because she didn't like Caroline. And that was what, Laura, later confirmed that yes, she didn't like Caroline from the get-go. And that for her, they ended that night on a good note. They had fun and everything. Then the next day, she actually had to put out on the group that, that she has a family, that she has kids, that she doesn't want to come and be waiting like that. And that she has no malicious intent whatsoever putting that out. And, Chioma was like, she doesn't know where Laura's head was, because, putting that out was very, very malicious. It was very, very insulting and malicious. And that at that time, Uti also made mention that at that time there was a conversation going on the phone between Miriam and Chioma that was like a heated conversation. That was happening as at the time that Laura was sending that text to the group, and because of that, that was because of the whole thing that happened, she was on the phone with Miriam. Caroline was on the phone with Iyabo at that time. So of course they all got pissed. And Uti also read, some tweets, where the first person was like, what Laura put out on that group was not malicious at all. It was not insulting. The other person now said that it was Chioma that was hiding behind Caroline, pushing Caroline or instigating Caroline to fight, with Laura. And Chioma was like, to her, she was not, instigating anybody. That in fact, she was doing the opposite. She didn't want to address it, which was what she was doing. That the conversation that she and Caroline were having in the car was like an aftermath of the conversation both of them were having on the phone with Iyabo and Miriam, respectively. Yes, guys. And okay, they now address the whole pimping to the governor issue. And Laura said that initially she actually thought that, Caroline said that to get back at her and everything. But when, Caroline kept saying it, it now sounded more like an accusation. Yes. And that she is she married to an Igbo man, and that is a taboo, And Uche was like, were you married at that time? She said, yes, that she was married, that everybody knows that she gave out her book for free. Yes, that she gave out her book, to her alumni, to her schoolmates and all that, to different schools for free. And then she had this friend, that knows the governor, and she knew that the governor was in town or something. And she was like, okay, can you help me so that at least the governor can, buy my book or sponsor it or something like that. And that was how, the friend took her to meet the governor. And unfortunately or fortunately, the governor bought 2 books, and she actually did say Caroline. And on Caroline's part, she was like, she was giving I think 70 or 70 something invites, to invite people, for the governor. I think there was an event or something like that. And that, during that course of that thing, that she actually did see Laura, but she also heard from the person that brought Laura that she was being pimped to the governor. And Laura was like, you didn't actually see me get pimped. You heard from somebody. And Yuta was like, did you actually see her getting pimped? And Caroline was like, I was not in the room, doing the do with her, with the governor when she was doing it. Same way she was not in the room seeing me with the little boys, because Laura also accused Caroline of doing what with small boys. So she heard, and Caroline concluded that maybe Laura should be watchful of the people she keep around her, because it was somebody that brought her to the place that actually spilled. Yes, guys. So from that, I can actually deduct that in my head, I'm thinking Caroline didn't actually see Laura get pimped. Laura didn't actually see Caroline with any small boys. It was just hearsay, and these 2 women came at each other because they were having a fight. Thinking about it, I don't actually think that they saw exactly anything that will indicate that any of them were pimped. They just came at each other. That's what I think. I mean, when you are fighting with somebody, you will always want to, find something to come at the person with. So I think that's what happened. Now, away from that, we also had to address the whole Toyin and Caroline. That was like, whoa, the hottest part of today's episode. Caroline, and Toyin went from cooking banger at each other's house to, being not friends at all. And Caroline said that she met, what's her name, Toyin, and they were friends for like a month or 2 months. Sometimes she said 1 month, some the other time she said 2 months, and she calculated it, I think, from September to November. Also, I think October to November or so. Then she said on the 4th of November, during her ex-husband's birthday, that she kicked Toyin out. And Toyin was like, why did you kick me out? And she said that was when she was 23, and Toyin was laughing. Like, the faces of the ladies, the way they were laughing when Caroline was talking, when Toyin was talking, I'm like, Iyabo was like the worst. Her facial expression was crazy. And Toyin kept interjecting, she kept interjecting when Caroline was talking. And Caroline was like, that Toyin was accusing everybody of stealing her husband. She accused Nengi, which we know that happened. Remember when Big Brother Naija lockdown season happened? Toyin, I remember I also gave the gist, that Toyin accused, Nengi of trying to steal her husband. She accused Tonto Dike, our mama the papa, of also trying to steal her husband. Toyin also came at Caroline saying that, Caroline was being abused by her ex-husband, but she refused to say it because she knows that if she says this, something will happen. That the same man that Caroline was saying, the same man that Caroline was saying, that she was accusing different people of trying to snatch. She too, she slept with a man. I'm like, that because of Caroline that they beat her up. And that was where Caroline said, that was how you went on accusing Swanky Jerry of beating you up. And like, Swanky, the stylist, or more. And people of God, it was just nasty. At some point, they were insulting each other. You slept with this person, you not sleep with this person. And at some point, they were insulting their own parents. At some point, it was crazy, people of God. Toyin was speaking Yoruba, insulting Caroline. Caroline was firing back. They were just going back and forth at each other. They talked about their relationships, how this person is a pathological liar, the other one is a pathological liar. You have to see the show for yourself to actually get, the heat that was actually going on. And the whole thing was, Miriam was sitting in between them. I'm like, why is it that Miriam is always in between 2 people that are fighting? Anyways, guys, it went on and on. Uti let them talk. Uti is messy, and I like it. Uti let them talk. They were just opening each other's dirty linens on on TV. Yes, guys, it was as messy as that. Now, looking at Toyin and Carolyn, I can see that there's a bit of truth in the things both of them were saying. I don't know who won this round because both of them were actually like they went low. In fact, if they go any lower with the insults, I'm sure they're gonna dig up crude oil. Yes, guys, they went really low at each other. And where Carolyn said that Toyin accused Tontodike, accused Nengi. For the Nengi own, I know it's true because I covered that story, and both of them, and there were some inconsistencies in Carolyn's story because I remember during Carolyn's podcast, she said she didn't even that she and Toyin were not friends, and I think that was where Toyin started interjecting. And I would have loved if Toyin had shut up and let Carolyn talk because Carolyn allowed her to talk. Yes, guys. To me, I feel like they were throwing jabs at each other. There were lots of lies going on there, but there were lots of truth also in there. Bottom line is, when you're coming to fight with somebody like Carolyn, yeah, just be prepared because Carolyn is, how do I put it? She goes dirty. Yes, guys, if she wants to insult you, she'll kind of like insult you in a way that, even if it's not true, it's so believable. And none of them, all of them shall have their own skeletons in their cupboard. It depends on who is ready or who defends whatever skeleton they have better. That's what I think. But all in all, this is what a reunion supposed to be like. I mean, Big Brother Naija Shine Your Eye reunion is nothing compared to this. Like these 6 women, and the next episode, which is next week Friday, I cannot wait. That was when the whole altercation that happened between Toyin and Chioma happened. Miriam even said that, I think it was Carolyn that told Chioma that, Chioma should not open water and drink in Miriam's house. She should be careful of Miriam, that Miriam is somebody that looks like all those people that uses jazz. I'm like, Carolyn said that. And wait, Chioma spilled to Miriam. I cannot wait for the next episode next week because it's going to be fire. Well done to the team. Well done to them that they did not cut out whatever parts to save anybody's face because these ladies, they are shameless. And I like it. I like the drama they are bringing. Nobody's trying to the production is not trying to shield anybody. Your mess up is going to be aired there and then. And I love it. I mean, Carolyn is good when it comes to defending herself. I'll give it to her. I will give it to her. Toyin, for all the things that Carolyn said about Toyin, even mentioning Toyin's son, Toyin could not even stand up to fight her, but she actually stood up to fight Chioma. What did Chioma say? Anyways, I can't wait for that. Yes, guys, but that was it. But really, really, guys, you guys should watch it. You guys should really watch it. All I did here was summarize everything. If you watch it, you're gonna feel what I felt watching it. It was super, super entertaining. Kudos to Uti. I told you guys, when they announced Uti to be the host, I told you it's gonna be messy. Especially when he said, "One welcome for Carolyn people." I'm like. Anyways, guys, on that note, I say thank you guys so very much for being part of my channel. If you've not already subscribed, you know what to do. Kindly click on the subscription button, click on the notification bell to let you know whenever I post any new video. Until I come your way again, I remain your darling girl, Ezinne Williams. Have yourself a beautiful, wonderful day ahead.